talented giver accumulates to give. A gifted giver gives out of the overflow of their own life. Once you come to the realization that your external world is a reflection of your internal world, that's when you are able to accurately see the gifted, because the gifted are able to feed the 5,000 with 2 fish. A talented person needs 5,000 fish to feed 4,000 people.
Jeez, listen. Our episodes aim to both entertain and inform.
Remember, not everything you hear is the literal truth.
Oh, we enjoy adding embellishments for flavor.
As we navigate each story, observe the blend of fact and fiction, prompting discussions to
discuss the matter.
Who's this? Who's it? Is it you?
Bosco!
Who's that?
He's Bosco. He's the champion.
The champion.
Of all time champion.
Let's go. Welcome back.
Welcome back, my brother.
To the world
I'm back.
That's you.
My brother.
All eyes on me.
That's you.
It's not me. I'm going to take the nudge.
DTM London.
DTM London.
Welcome back.
Back in the building. We are here.
Welcome back, my brother.
Come on.
Yeah.
An important episode. It's episode what?
Episode 16.
Episode 16.
A 1 and a 6.
Come on, man. You know, when we got the 6, we got to make it special. And we got a special guest with us.
Special
You know what I'm
guest.
saying? Mr. KK is here with us.
KK.
Do you know what I mean? And we are going to be speaking a lot about his story, how he became an entrepreneur. And we're going to hear a lot about his journey, you know. So before we get into that, shout out to Reese in the building.
Reese is in the building.
There.
Jeez. Bluetooth.
Yeah, we will get Reese on the pod soon.
Yes.
But Mr. KK, welcome.
Welcome, man. Welcome. Mr. KK.
How you doing, sir?
I'm amazing. I'm always amazing.
Yeah?
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I've got to say, you're looking mighty dapper.
As
I'm
always.
loving the fit,
I love the swag as well.
You get what I'm saying?
But before we go any further,
Before we do,
guys, as I always say, we need you guys to help us boost our algorithm.
Very important.
All right? So please, if you can just take a few seconds of your time, right? Just go and click that subscribe button. Yeah? That will help us just push our stuff a bit more.
Yep.
And give us better content for you guys. And what do we always say, D6?
It's you guys,
That makes
us guys.
it's you guys that's going to make us guys.
That's it.
Yeah?
That's it.
Back
Episode
in.
16. So we back. Mr. KK, talk us about the drip, man. Please, sir.
I mean, episode 16, it's only right that you have the 17th in the building.
Okay.
Jeez. Yeah? That's how you're feeling?
I am indeed KK17, and therefore, did you expect anything other than this?
You lot
Surface
ready
level.
for the roller coaster ride? Are you lot ready?
Okay, ready. So you wasn't always this deep and eclectic, or was you? I feel like a lot of people who speak in a certain deep way, maybe they went through something in their life, a certain transformation at all. Was that the case for you? What led you to being so deep as a person?
This is lineage.
What does that mean?
I'm a continuation of my ancestors. And so this has been from birth. However, discovery has been a process, 1. 2, activating certain variables or nuances in my DNA have been part of a process and a journey, yes. And 2, I wasn't actually born on the continent of my motherland. I was born abroad, and therefore it took...
Where was you born?
I was born in London.
Right.
I was born in Park Royal, fittingly so.
Yeah.
I was born in the Royal Hospital. So every time I went back to Ghana, I had different stages of childhood and life.
So I'm gonna have to pause you. Sorry.
Yes.
How did these things contribute to you being deep? Just so we're answering the question.
I've traced my ancestry as far back as the 17th century.
Right.
I know precisely who I am. I know precisely where I've been. If you don't know where you've been, how can you accurately know where you're going or where you're supposed to go? Your life is about purpose. Nothing, no one is created by chance. And therefore, I know definitively what my purpose is.
When did you
Much
figure
more
out
than
your
many.
purpose, though?
Yeah, that's a good point.
When did you figure that bit out? Because we got to grow and we got to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So when did that hit you? And what did that feel like?
My theory and my belief is I believe everybody is born with talent. I'm not convinced yet that everybody is gifted. So in my line of...
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't believe it. Okay, keep going.
Well, in my line of work, and this has been collating information and various case studies over the course of the past 15 to 20 years, because whether we're talking about me working with the exceptionally talented or exceptionally gifted, it's either 15 or 20 years, give or take, whichever one we're talking about. That's why I can confidently say that I believe everyone is born with talent, because talent is something that you can nurture and develop. Gifting, natural gifting from the Most High or from the cosmos, that is something different.
What do you class as a gift? Can you give me an example? What's a gift?
It depends on the individual, because your gifting can come in various forms. People don't realize that generosity, those that have the gift of giving, that's actually a gift.
Would you not say that's teachings? Somebody's taught you how to share?
If someone's a talented giver, then yes. A gifted giver, it's not the same, bro. A talented giver accumulates to give. A gifted giver gives out of the overflow of their own life. Once you come to the realization that your external world is a reflection of your internal world, that's when you are able to accurately see the gifted, because the gifted are able to feed the 5,000 with 2 fish. A talented person needs 5,000 fish to feed 4,000 people.
Jeez, listen. Before he starts dropping all of these gems and starts hitting us with all of this wisdom, yo.
Wow.
Episode 16. And I got my family in the building, do you get me? My cousin, you done know. And you've definitely done the unthinkable. The reason why I say that is because, you know, your journey is just so remarkable. You know, you transition from the street life to the entrepreneurial life, right? So could you just speak to us a bit about that story, if you don't mind, and how you've like managed to do that?
I was a street kid when I was much younger, but that had a lot to do with forgetting who I was, the stock and the lineage I'd come from. It also come from deception, misdirection, and without it sounding too grim, but also grooming by elders to get me to do things. However, when I came to the realization that it was me, and also when I'm very much someone who, if I done it, I'll own it. Doesn't matter where it is. Because if I didn't do it, you can't pin it on me, and I'm not going to accept it. So once I came to the realization that anything that I had done was actually just me, and that I could transmute those skill sets from something negative to positive, the minute I started to transmute all of my skill sets, talents and gifts into positive avenues, we saw positive results. Like the 2 Kofis that went to private school, the 2 orphan Kofis in Ghana that I was able to raise funds for to go to private school.
Big up.
Shout that out, man.
Come on, man. I like that. I like that stuff.
Talent Hub, KKC Solution, and all of the other talents, gifted individuals. And
What does
people
KK
I've helped over the years?
What does KKK stand for?
So KK has various meanings. So my name is Kojo Krang. I'm an Equipimakan from Edukram.
Say that again. Your name's what?
My name is Kojo Mantijabi Krang.
Aha.
I am an Equiopim Akan,
That's it.
an Akan warrior from the mountains of Ghana. However, KK, like I told you, I'm a continuation of my DNA. My dad was Kwesi Karang. And if you go back through my ancestry, you'll find one of my great grandfathers, and the one who I kind of is the domino effect for my modern DNA and lineage, if you will, is Kwame Kuno. So we're all KKs. Kuju Krang, Kwesi Krang, Kwame Kuno. We're all KKs. Yeah. So it's not just me. This is actually my family emblem that you see on these items. I commandeered it as my company logo, but it is our family emblem because it started off as Karang Kingdom from the mountains.
Jeez. Do you want to speak about your logo, like your company, like what it is?
Because you mentioned the hub.
Yeah.
You want to expand on that a bit?
You've also helped some people out as well. So what is it that you're giving? What's that gift that you said you've been touched with?
Discuss the matter.
Discuss the matter.
I guess the easiest way for people to quantify would be to see me, or in fact, a group of young people use this analogy, and I've used it ever since. They said they joked and called me Professor Keck Xavier. In other words, Professor X Xavier, because they said for some reason I'm always able to see the talented individuals before even speaking to them. So I started off as a youth worker.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually got into youth work because I was diagnosed with cancer when I was just before my 21st birthday. And then subsequently, after conquering the cancer, a friend of mine had heard that I had wanted to change my life around and be a positive influence on young people, because effectively I'd been a bit of a troublesome kid. And the same friend...
You're smiling, I can see. You're grinning through that bit there.
Because
is that something you've tried to push aside? That's why you don't really like getting into that part of the bag? Is that something you've tried to get rid of?
No, I don't need to get rid of it. It's just I've realised, and it's something that I've observed, and especially because I've worked with young people from a, what's the wording?
Difficult background.
From a difficult background, and let's say broken families or disadvantaged young people is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But then I've also worked with the affluent ones. I've noticed a trend here is that the affluent ones, because they've been raised in survival, they love to listen to the negative. So when you mention the streets, they want to hear me talk about prison and this and that, and I was smarter than that. I never went to prison. With all due respect. It's not an insult to anyone, but it's just the generation I grew up in, we didn't respect going to prison.
Right.
This is what I mean by there's a difference between street kids and roadmen. Street kids did what they did because they had to get by and because they couldn't see their family struggle. Road youths, they've attached their identity to badness.
Right.
I don't respect that. That's not me. I grew up knowing that my great-granduncle was Kofi Annan and the head of the UN. I even got in trouble for school in the class once. And that's another thing that was part of my journey. Because I got in trouble for telling the truth, from that instance, that's when I was like, bro, if I done it, I done it. And if I didn't do it, I'm not gonna, you can't
that's
get...
where you owned it.
Yeah. And so that's, because if I'm gonna get in trouble, that was my stance, because that was in primary school, by the way.
Yeah.
This teacher, she just couldn't get her head round. I was in her class, she's teaching a lesson on government and politics. She's mentioned Kofi Annan, and then my boys start giggling because they know I've said that's my granduncle. So they're like, and she, why are you lot laughing about da. When Dave said, that's his grandfather, and she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, it is. Kicked me out of the class. My auntie come to school the next day, blasted her. She couldn't handle that. Our first lesson was, in primary school, them days, the whole class goes to the library.
Yeah.
So that was our first lesson. Whole class goes to the library. She stuck me in the corner because she got blasted in front of some teachers and that. Not even 10 minutes into the lesson, my whole class comes running around. Oh my gosh, Kojo, you're famous. You're famous. We found a book about you. We found a book. Like, what are you lot talking about? These lot pull up this book, and there's this famous book called Oh Kojo, How Could You? Right. And it was just uncanny that they found a book in that. So then her whole plan that even though I was innocent, she still wanted to punish me the whole focus on the class still came back to me. And from that instance, I was like, you know what? If I know it's true, no one ain't telling me otherwise. And even if you want to kill me for it, go ahead.
So even at such a young age, how did you like have the decision makings that you had? Because I feel like when we're younger, we can be quite
impressionable. What are you talking about? It's the gift.
Is it the gift?
Yeah.
Even from it just started from young?
When it touches you, it touches you. Do you feel like you're gifted?
You're born with it, man.
I do, but the way he speaks about the gift, I'm like, I'm not sure we got the same one.
Do you think you could be sitting there doing what you're doing now and not have a gift?
It's true. That is true. I should.
And where did that come from?
I'm going to say God always.
Right.
Which God?
Jehovah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who would you say God is to you?
My God is called Onyankopon. So is yours.
Who is he?
That's the tree. What's that in English?
English is not my mother tongue. My
But
voice.
I'm just asking, what is it in English? What do you not know?
The closest comparison would be, well, we don't know the name for God in English because as far as we know, the English don't have a God.
Oh no. Oh no.
Why don't the English have a God?
Because God is not a name, it's a title. So I'll go and ask an English person the name of their God. It's not a name, it's a title. Before it was a title, it was an acronym.
Yeah.
God, it was government, ordinance, democracy in the Latin, government, ordinance, decorum translated into English. So go and ask them then.
God is a title, but if we ask somebody what's God's name, at that point they have to provide the name.
Yes, and what's the name?
Well, I'm not an English person.
You said Jehovah.
Yeah, that's
D6.
my opinion. Yeah, my opinion is Jehovah, but obviously
Jehovah would be Yehovah in our language. In Hebrew,
What language is that?
tree.
Let them know.
Tree.
Yeah.
they see the Kente, they see what's going on here.
You know exactly. Abusha Fuenturete. That's Trepong, by the way.
Unless I have a cousin that's from
ancient.
China.
The Chinese got it from us.
Oh goodness.
Hang on, let's not lose track here.
Yeah.
So, if you're talking Hebrew, then it would be Yahweh Vape.
So that's what
Because this is my thing. When I've done my research, and bearing in mind, I'm an ex-youth pastor, by the way, so I'm not saying this stuff flippantly. I went to Spurgeon's College, and after one day, they wanted to kick me out, but I was leaving anyway. So, because they will say to you that Jesus is the translation to English, but no, it's not. That's Joshua. Because Yeshua, translated to English, is Joshua. So who is Jesus? Oh, that's why they call it a Greco-Roman religion. Because Jesus is actually Jupiter and Zeus amalgamated for a Greco-Roman religion, because religion is a system of control and an arm of government.
Eesh, D6, did you hear what he just said?
I heard what he said.
I follow no religion. I'm not religious. Mine, when I call on...
Do you have a God?
Onyankopon, Nyame,
That's it.
Yesu, Yehovah, those are the names. Because when I call on my God, it's got more to do with my way of life. And it's because of my God that I do not trample or destroy nature. Because my God is in everything. He's in you, he's in that, he's in the plant. He's anything, everything is energy.
Right.
Yeah.
And if energy can never be dissipated, that means my DNA, this is why I'm saying to you, I am a continuation of my ancestors. From a scientific perspective, if you want, through my DNA. But I'm saying to you, even beyond my DNA.
All right, so if there's, for the viewers at home who are listening and are like, yeah, what KK is saying, I'm messing with that, and I want to get more information on that, where can they go to get information about some of the things that you're saying?
They need to go to their elders.
To their elders.
Who's the elders?
Because this is the case in point. When you were saying you're not sure if you've got the same gifting as me, that is because I had access to grandma and you didn't. And of course, my grandma and your grandma is not necessarily the same. However, my grandmother is of course still your grandmother because we are related. Ours is different. As a Cans, it's different. In a Can culture, I've told you this before, your brother's son is your son. It's your cousin's child. So my son will be your nephew. but your sister or your brothers, that's your son. You see what I say? So for us, it's a lot deeper now.
So you're saying, just very, very important. So they got the message.
I'm
you're
like
saying that it's important for them to go back to their elders to get information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now,
what about if they can't do that?
Yeah, because you got to go way back. You got to go, because you said you were your grandma's grandma, right?
where were you born?
Where was I born?
Yeah.
Here.
You was born here?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember learning about the Vikings in school?
Yeah.
How far back was that? Has that got anything to do with your lineage?
I'm starting to think we should have got just on this episode.
Just would have loved it. Just would have loved it.
No, genuine question. What has any Viking, Roman got to do with you at all? So why are you telling me about ain't I got to go far back? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not discounting the fact that I've been privileged. I got to see my grandparents.
Right.
I got to sit with them. Now,
Do you think everyone should go way, way back and find out who their ancestors are?
Yeah, is that
like,
important?
do you think we should like
Everything
do that whole
Everything
DNA and go all the way back?
What do you mean? Do I think?
Do you?
That's a good question.
And that's across everybody. Everyone human. Should everyone be going back? I'm talking way back. See how far you've gone?
Every other culture does, except for those that were conquered at a point. And when you look at society, it's only those that have never been conquered that survive and come out the strongest. That's why they always say, oh, Ashanti Boga, Ashanti Boga. Do you know why that is? Because the Ashantis were the ones that were not conquered. Why did the British know the Ashanti? There's many tribes across they know the Ashanti, they know the Zulu. Why have you heard of Shaka Zulu? Because he dealt with them basa basa. If you don't, why do you think Xhosas and Zulus, they're so proud of them? Because they learned their ancestry and their history. How can you be proud of where you're going? How can you be proud of where you are today if you don't know where you've come from? What are you talking about? And then you'll look at me and say, oh, how are you so confident? Because I know.
This is...
Got the information. Yeah.
No. Information is what you got in school.
Right.
I got knowledge.
So information it doesn't count as the same? No?
And knowledge is what?
Thank you.
Knowledge is power. And I think that brings us on to a very important part of our podcast. And we're going to be speaking about the behavioral decline of Western black people. And as you know, myself and Tristan had the interview with Sarah Garvey. I always keep saying S.A. Garvey, which is so wrong.
No, we did say that last pod. Yeah? We got it wrong.
My bad. Sarah Garvey.
Yeah.
So there's actually a point that he mentioned, and we're all going to just take a moment to hear it, and then we're going to discuss the matter.
Have you watched that episode?
I have indeed.
Did you see us on there?
I did indeed.
How did you think that went? Don't go into it too much, but how do you think that we dealt with that situation?
Yeah, before we play the
Before we actually go in. Was it, how did you see the pod? How did you see that episode?
Doom.
Was it a good debate?
I very much enjoyed the episode.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Would you tell them not to go and watch it?
They must go and watch it.
Yeah.
Why aren't you smiling then?
I know, he looks like he's upset. What's going on?
Because there is a very personal, or was a very personal response to that episode. And I'm torn between giving a generic answer for the public or being completely candid, honest and transparent. That's just the honest truth.
And what do you think I would say to that?
You are on DTM London,
where we discuss the matter.
We discuss the matter.
So you would like for me to be candid and transparent?
Oh yeah, man.
Of course, always.
Okay. I watched the episode and I was happy, but a little bit, it hurt me a little bit initially because, of course, D6 is my cousin and family, my brother, and I felt like there was a role reversal, because I don't know Sarah Garvey personally, but I have seen some of his content. We have similar views, and watching it, because I know D6 personally, it felt like role reversal, because for me it felt like the Equiopim Akan, the African, was going against his own tradition, whereas the West Indian was the one back in your tradition. That's what I saw. But again, because it's somewhat more personal. I had watched that directly after watching the Father's episode.
Right.
And so already with that episode, I was quite emotional already. That's why looking back and extrapolating my thoughts and feelings on it, I can see how I got to that point. Because my dad died when I was 8.
Right.
And watching my guy, I said that for the purpose of the Oyibo people. My dad's not dead. Akans, we don't believe that we die. You take up another form.
Interesting.
But I was proud of both of you, and then it also showed me, in hindsight, how I landed myself in the situations I did growing up, and it was a lot to do with my dad not being there, because I just remember sitting there and watching Daniel, and just D6.
Daniel!
And thinking of his dad. And thinking of his dad.
Yeah.
And thinking, this is why. That's why he escaped all of that street stuff. Does that make sense? Because there's loads of us in terms of cousins.
Right.
So I've always looked and observed and realized those whose dads were there and were present, there were some pitfalls that they were just able to avoid.
Right.
And it's got a lot to do with a mother can raise a boy, yes, but she's never been a man. So a mother cannot turn a boy to a man. It takes a father, because only a father has been a man.
Oh, all right, but let me rap to you now. I grew up without a dad.
Yes.
Would you not class me as a man?
I didn't say that.
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't put
I
words
said a
into your
mother
mouth.
cannot turn a boy into a man. With all due respect to you, your mother didn't
But wait,
do that.
that's why I'm dissecting what you've said. Because I grew up with the woman.
So did I.
Yeah. So do we not have the man traits?
Yes, you do.
Where did we get that from?
You had to
That's the
learn
bit
it.
I want to know.
You're a self-taught man, which means that you're going to have more flaws, or it's going to take you longer to get to that point of complete manhood. There's going to be elements, and correct me if I'm wrong, where there were times where you were a grown boy. You were a boy you were a boy that could grow a beard. I'd been that for years. And bearing in mind, I'd been living on my own since I was 16, 17, he'll tell you. So as much as I was paying bills, 16, 17, I was making money and paying my bills, but if I weren't a man, I was a boy. And then when I got cancer, again, I saw I weren't a man. I was still a boy. When I conquered it, I saw, okay, there's elements of manhood, but I'm still a boy. It was when I started to take responsibility, stopped hiding from my purpose, stopped hiding from my gifts. And to answer a question that you asked me before, my grandmother, you was asking me, how did I know this stuff from young? It's my grandma.
Ooh, that's crazy because I feel the same way.
I know.
I felt like my grandma gave me a gift.
I know. There you go.
That's serious.
Yes, but a grandmother has been with her husband, seen him be a man, has observed her. Remember, grandmother. So your mum, your mum would have seen. Do you see what I'm saying? She would have seen men go from boys to men. So she has more to impart. This is why my grandmother instilled in me. She said, hey, you don't cut your hair. She said that to my mum. These little nuances that was tradition from the mountains, that because I was born here, I didn't realize. But every time I went back, things would be said to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why grandma would say this. That's why. And another part of this is, with all due respect to my mum was mentally colonized. So then she converted to Christianity. So a lot of the traditional stuff she had discarded. But you don't realize religion cannot form without a culture. So wherever or whoever brings you that religion, it's entwined with their culture. And to take up theirs means you have to renounce your own. That's why they will tell you that your ancestors as an African is demonic, but then they've got a monument to Napoleon in Trafalgar Square. Is that not an idol? When we had idols, you said it's demonic. You've got a whole one in the town square. What are you talking about? You talk about Churchill all over every time the what's it called with the poppies and all of that. Is that not venerating your ancestors? You say, oh, what a great man he was. Hey, my friend, let me tell you something. Akonfanotra, Osei-Tutu, Yasantwa, they were great for me.
Translate that for them.
Say that again into the mic, please.
I said, while these people have their Napoleons and their Churchills, etc., Minsu, yeah, what Akonfanotra, yeah, what Osei-Tutu, and my...
I'm going to have to start getting some Jamaicans on this pod, bro.
And my favourite, and my favourite, Ya Asantwa, because Nibenye. Ya Asantwa, Nibane Tina Hanum.
The Guardians have taken over.
The Nigerians, man. Where are you lot, man?
Mina na Mary Nineku, Nibane Tina Hanum. Julie Nineku, Nibane Tina Hanum.
All right.
Kwame Kunu, Nibane Tina Hanum. Ati.
Please, Mr. KK.
Yes.
Now it's time for us to get into the clips of Sarah Garvey. So we're just going to
wait. Did he even answer the declining of? Did you answer that? Can you give us a simple form of? Do you think?
So I'm going to repeat the question.
Yeah, do that.
So it reads as the behavioural decline of Western black people. Do you think there is a behavioural decline of Western black people?
100%.
You think that there is?
Without question.
Why is that?
Because we're engaged in things that are not our culture, and it's turning our hearts away from our very own beings.
We're going to get back to that. Let's get back to that. But let's get into this clip right now, because I'm quite keen on hearing your thoughts on.
So
this.
Explain the clip though. It's from Sarah Garvey's.
Yeah, so it's taken from Sarah Garvey, but I think the clip speaks for itself. Black people, what do you think about what he had to say and also the response?
I think he's spot on.
Who's spot on?
Sarah Garvey.
Why do you say that?
Because he's spot on.
No, you got to give me more than that. I just made the whole clip.
I get that, but I got to be honest. I'm often reluctant to speak on this topic. It's got nothing to do with me, bro.
Bro, we're here to discuss the matter.
No, I get that. But I'm trying to... No, hold on. I'm trying to point something out here.
Right.
You see when he's talking about this back door, yeah?
Yeah.
The bigger picture to that is how our conversations have been hijacked. When you look at black people, and I don't even use that term, I say melanated, but hey-ho, for lack of a better term and for the sake of time. When you look at black people's conversations, it's often slavery or some sort of debauchery or some ratchetness or something violent. Why? Why are we always talking about rubbish?
Would you say that, because Sarah Garvey would say that's the underworld, right? And would you say that, he did say in that pod as well, that black people, we have our underworld, but it's at the surface.
Yes.
And
that's why I said
is that what you're relating to?
100%.
That when we speak out to the world, we always go back to these moments.
And I can, yeah,
but wouldn't you say that's trauma and that's how we have to?
Yes, it is.
Trauma.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is trauma. I get that.
Yeah.
But it's also because most of you are still stuck in survival and low vibration.
Yeah.
That's what you're comfortable talking about.
So help us. How do you get out of it?
Stop talking about this rubbish. It's always the rubbish.
Right.
It's always the rubbish.
Right.
You know white people were enslaved too, right?
How so?
Yeah.
Go and do your history and research.
I'm not saying they're not. I just explained how are they?
You see, this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Go and check for yourself. They were also enslaved. They don't speak about it no more. They don't speak about it. Slavics were enslaved. They don't speak about Slavic slavery. They don't speak about it. Why are we still speaking about 500 years on? It's the same and always, and it's intentional. This is what he's trying to help you see. He's using the analogy of the back door without you seeing the bigger picture. When they're always showing you these films about slavery, and let me tell you, you've heard about the Battle of Trafalgar, right? All of these battles that they keep teaching you in school that have got nothing to do with your history. Have you ever heard about the Battle of Insamanko? This is your own history. You don't know. 1824. You yourself, your own history, you don't know. Listen. The Ashanti Kingdom, 1791 to 1896 CE, a British invading force of 500 was devastated by the Ashanti army. Only 20 Englishmen escaped alive. Battle of Insamanko, 1824. Have you ever heard that before?
No.
That's your own history. These are your grandparents that did this. Have you ever heard about it?
No.
No. Do you know what happened 10 years later? And I'll tell you why you never heard about it. I'll tell you exactly why. And some people have tried to say, oh, Lord Macaulay's address has been debunked. I don't care if you say it's been debunked, because the evidence is there and clear for us all to see that that's exactly what took place and is still taking place now via neo-colonialism. We should be talking about real history. We should be talking about our story, not somebody else's story.
Right.
There's a lot of passion.
Yeah.
A lot of passion in the room right now.
All right, let's go from there to, do you want to show him the behavior of the black society? That video.
What, within Sarah Garvey?
Within Sarah Garvey.
I don't know if I've got the timestamp for that.
Yeah.
No, I ain't got a timestamp for that.
You sure?
Is that your one?
Yep.
Then it's within the same time frame.
Yep. 6.
All right, let's pull it back.
Before we do that, let me just read this, because remember, Battle of Insamanko was 1824, yeah? Lord Macaulay's address allegedly was February the 2nd, 1835. So 11 years later, this is what he addressed the British Parliament, and he said, remember, Lord Macaulay's address to British Parliament, 2nd February 1835, I have travelled across the length and breadth of Africa, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country. Bearing in mind he's referring to Africa, the whole continent as a country. Have seen in this country such high moral values, people of such caliber, that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation. That I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture. For if the Africans think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation.
Who said that?
Lord Macaulay.
Lord
at
Macaulay.
the British Parliament.
When did he say that? Do you know the date?
1835.
Yeah.
After the Battle of Nsamanko, 1824, when their invaded force of 500 was devastated by the Ashanti army, only 20 Englishmen escaped. Did you hear that? Escaped alive. We didn't let them go. They managed to escape. And
This is quite deep.
Giving us some history. Told you we got something special for you for episode 16. Look at me, I can't even talk. I can't even talk.
This is special.
Did you want to still get back into the clip?
Yeah, because I would love to see your views on this part.
Yes.
So you have to kind of watch it.
Yeah, so we're going to just continue from where we left off because it's still within the time frame.
We'll put that there for you guys as well.
America. So he's actually a black man from America.
Right,
So he was a very educated black man.
Yeah.
And when he wrote it, he said that if you look at the time, the Negro wasn't allowed to walk within the front door of the big house, right? So the Negro had to go in through the back. That was the Negro's place, to go in through the back. But he wrote in the book, now what's happened is the Negro knows to walk in the back, so he'll walk around the back of the house, and if there is no back door there, he will create one and walk through it.
Whoa,
that's the psychology of the Negro, and that's what I see that is happening within Black people in the West. We're creating back doors for ourselves when we could create a front door.
But what would have happened if he had walked through the front door?
At the time, he probably would have got killed. If you go back to the South.
So if you was in that position, what would you have done in that position though?
Yeah, you probably would have walked. That was your place to walk through the back door.
But now there's no back door.
That's what I'm trying to say. But now we're creating back doors.
Yeah.
Black people are creating back doors. So if you look at some of the behavior that Black people are doing, it's quote unquote Negro behavior. We're no longer Negroes. We're no longer people who need to be walking through back doors.
Do we still need to eat oxtail? Because you know about oxtail, right?
Go on, talk about oxtail.
So oxtail was like the last bit of the meat they used to give to you back in the day. Do we still need to eat that now? But the white people's eating it now, aren't they? They enjoy it. I see them in the Caribbean shop eating that. They're enjoying it. It's quite interesting, that dynamic of things. That's how I see it. It's like that was given to us back then as trash. The last bit of the meat, like dog food. Yeah,
it's like the same reason why they eat the foot of any animal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The insides of an animal.
You know, I think there was many things happening in the past, right? But just kind of going back to like what you mentioned about the back door, I don't think in that time everybody was going through the back door. We know there was like different types of slaves because we're talking about slavery, right?
Yeah, that's what he was referring to.
So there was different types of slaves. So going back to your question, if we're going to speak about a decline, how are we going to measure it if there was only specific types of people that was going through the back door? It wasn't all, was it? Well, so how are you measuring your decline and where from?
Because the Negro had their place in that time.
What specific Negro are we speaking about? Because I've just clarified that there was only some that was going through the back door. We can't say all was taking that measure, unless that's what you're saying.
Black peoples in general, yes, there were quote unquote house Negroes who maybe were allowed to go through the front door.
Right.
But Black people in general at that time were supposed to act in a certain way, behave in a certain way. They were expected to be a certain way. In my personal point of view now, Black people don't need to act in certain ways, but they do. They don't need to be a certain way, but they continue to be that way. They continue to act like quote unquote Negroes, like they're not supposed to be.
Is that because they're not educated?
What's acting like a Negro?
Do you want to act like a Negro?
What's acting like a Negro?
I'll show you. Jesse, do you have the first video?
Give us that, please.
Which is the first video?
The first video that I put there. I'll show you what I would call acting like a Negro is.
Is it this one?
Out of the job.
Shoot about 30 seconds to show why you need a spot on the show right now.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
Jocelyn Cabaret Girls. Should you be on Baddies?
I got jumped, fought 4 bitches, got in about 7-8 fights. You feel me? What do you mean it's nothing? Huh?
Come on. Way to get a ticket.
Let's see some ass. Oh my God. Let's see some ass. I'm legally blind, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still a bad bitch and I'm still out here, you know what I'm saying, doing my shit. No. How is she
Get off my stage. Drop down and give me 20 push-ups.
I'll twerk this ass for you. While they do the work, I'll twerk this ass.
I ain't gonna beat you up, but I will. But I promise you ain't. Talk like.
This is not for you. Respect it.
Oh my God.
I don't play with bitches like you.
Who's definitely my papa? Who's definitely my papa?
How many people's watching this?
How
many views is this getting?
So the Baddies franchise, they've got Baddies West, Baddies East. They've now got Baddies UK.
Who's watching it? Is the Black people watching it?
Well, it's catered towards Black people. So when you said
subjective,
when you said
that.
what is acting like a Negro?
Yeah. Is this your
what we're talking about, the decline in the behavior
Yeah.
of Black people? Would you see that as a decline, that type of behavior?
You show me one video, right, of majority Black women, fair, but I could also show you a video where there's people of a different race who's also acting with the same behavior. So that's what I mean by
it's a decline in society. I can't pinpoint and say, yeah, it's just black people that's behaving like that. I can show you a podcast where there's people like Fresh and Fit, and they're like showcasing only fan models who are predominantly white, who are like almost having that same type of energy. So it's a society. It's not just a black people thing. We need to get away from this. It's a black people that other races.
Beep.
This is ratchet. It's ratchet stuff. And let me tell you something. You see, if these girls here, they knew about Ya Santua, they would never degrade themselves like this. You see, if they knew really who Nefertiti was, they would not degrade themselves like this. You see, if they really knew who Queen Europa was, an African queen who Europe is named after, they would not behave like this. Do you know why I don't talk about the street stuff? Because as much as I don't regret anything I've done, I'm ashamed. I'm the grandson of Kwame Kunu. I'm the grandson of Kofi Annan. I'm the son of Mark Jebi Crime.
These are some names.
Yes, of course. So once it dawned on me that, these people, these youths, these guys, and it weren't youths, these grown men were using my skill set for negative purposes. Just remove myself gingerly and let me not pretend. I got expelled after 3 months of year 7. so my mum sent me to school in Ghana. So let me not pretend that didn't save me. That saved me as well. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because getting expelled and going to school in Ghana meant that I was removed from this whole road and street life for 18 months. And it was the greatest 18 months of my life, because it was 18 months of DNA activation. Because I was in Ghana in the sun with my grandparents, with my aunts and uncles. And this is the thing. Yes, it helps that my mum's brother, my uncle, is a multimillionaire. It does help. It does help. I'm not going to pretend.
How does that help?
Because it helped me see that, well, if my mum's brother's a multimillionaire, why would I not be? My dad had Mark Gordon Enterprises, and I've seen some of the assets they had before he died. So then, what am I doing on the streets? Why am I letting this guy say, I'll give you your bills if you can get into this? And I'm like, I can get into any house in London. What's the bills to me now?
Quick question. If you could speak to your younger self, right? Obviously, you said there was a time that, you was doing whatever. If you could speak to your younger self now, with all the wisdom that's bestowed upon you, what would you say? I
would say to him, hey, Akwawe or your Chinese, we then dinechi.
In English.
Akwawe or your Yadi, we then dinechi. I'm saying, this is a Chinaman. What are you following him to Piccadilly for?
Look at the camera there.
This is a Jamaican. What are you following him for? Where's the Ghanaians? And let me not pretend like say they weren't Ghanaians that I did stuff for. There was. But what I'm saying is this. Your circumstance is the circle with which your stance is held in. If your stance is held amongst criminals, you'll become a criminal. If you're a footballer and you want to be a footballer, then you hang around with footballers, you'll become a footballer. If you see what I'm saying? This is why my grandmother would always tell me, hey, you're of royal descent. You're supposed. I'll never forget this. One time, because obviously my grandparents were in Ghana. My grandmother came here. We were living in Neasden. I was probably 3 at this time or 4. And Prince Harry, as a baby, obviously, with Prince Diana or whatever, came on the screen, and my grandma was like, oh, what's all this rubbish that you are following this? She said, hey, you're more royal than this guy. Always remember that. Always remember that.
Yeah.
And then when I was 17, when I went to go and bury my grandfather, it then dawned on me, hold on a minute, they're burying him in the royal palace. So all of this talk about we're of royal lineage, this is not a joke. This is actually real. And there was a hoo-ha that, look, that your grandfather, you have to go to Ghana to bury him. And it was that, but my grandmother had died a bit before that. There was no real hoo-ha about you have to, you see what I mean? So seeing that and seeing the whole process, the fanfare, and then actually seeing, wait, yeah, that there's not no cemetery, village cemetery. They're going to bury my grandfather in the royal palace. So like, we're actually part of this. We really are part of this thing. Changed everything for me. I'm not saying that it was immediate. Of course, I had to.
All right, because you're spiritual, like you've come with this energy. Tris always has to come with something crazy for this pod, yeah?
Of course he does. I see the beads.
It's not crazy, brother.
It's not crazy.
It's just because you don't understand it doesn't make it crazy.
Right. But I'm going to give you a little scenario. I like to do these little dilemma scenario, whatever you want to call it. Imagine you wake up one day and find yourself in a completely different body, but with all your current memories intact. Would you embrace this new identity or try to find a way back to your original body, even if it meant potentially losing the experiences and relationships you formed in this new body?
Do you need the question repeated?
No, I don't even get what you're asking me, bro. Bro, you've missed it.
He's missed it.
I've missed it.
He's like, okay.
Can you guys?
I think that's the best response we've got so far from him.
No. We're gonna.
for one of these questions here.
You missed it.
No. Listen. We are going to answer this question collectively.
Go.
Just humour me with this exercise. Everyone close their eyes. Just humour me. This is the answer. This is the answer to your question.
Right.
So everyone close their eyes.
Get into like a
All right,
presentation.
let's close the eyes.
No humming. Just.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Right. Everyone follow me. I'm going to do a count. When I say the number, take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. When my count stops, I'll make you aware. First breath. 1. 2. 3.
And now,
Gentlemen, if you were truly still holding that breath, then you're Jimmy. Explanation. This is the explanation.
You think I'm still holding my breath?
Hold on, wait.
I'm still holding my breath. Bro, I'm letting go of that breath when I said I'm letting go of that breath. Yeah? Go on.
Precisely.
Yeah?
Because what I'm trying to help you
I
see...
was in control.
What I'm trying to help you see is this. Is people have taken the words knowledge is power and think that the knowledge is the power. People think money is power and think that the money is power. Big man, was it my count that gave you that breath? Was it?
I used
Because if it was my count that gave you that breath, then you must worship me. And if it wasn't my count that gave you that breath, then whoever gave you that breath when you woke up this morning, what you do is between you and that source. No one else. Not even your parents. Your parents are a custodian of you, given to you by the one who gave them their breath. And so, if you discover tomorrow that you wake up in another body, but you've been given breath, that's the power. Go do something purposeful with it.
And that is the answer. I like that.
Brilliant. So, Mr. KK, you are a man who has a few relationships within the industry. You've definitely had a lot of like collaborations through the hub and through just the music industry as well. Do you want to speak a bit about that? We know you've worked with the likes of, is it Section, Swift? I know you've done things there. I know you've done things in the comedy space. We're not even going to get into the football realm yet. Where do you want to start from?
Man, I'm a talent expert, talent specialist, and I've worked with talent for the best part of 20 years. We can start wherever you like.
All right. So how did you form the relationship with Swift from Section?
The relationship with Swift actually came again out of a mentorship relationship. So for the best part, again, of 20 years, I've mentored young people, helped them discover their gifts and talents. The young person I was working with at the time was Javan Simpson, who I met again when he was 15. He's, well, I'm not going to expose his age now, but let's just say that he's a father of 2 amazing boys, and he's doing well for himself. when I started the Talent Hub, it was because in the pandemic, the girls, a lot of the young ladies that I'd work with in terms of their youth worker, they would say they wanted to get into modelling or acting and would complain, saying I'm always with the footballers because I went from community football to professional football. Once I went into professional football, youth work kind of did take a bit of a backseat. A lot to do with the investment that I had to put into establishing myself in football. Then I got made the county manager, although I had initially been brought in as the tactical coach. But then once the London FA and the FA secretary saw my skill sets and my gifting, they basically promoted me from tactical coach to the actual manager of the 16s and the under 18s.
Big stuff.
So I was
big stuff, man.
Focused on that, and because of that role with the FA, the most notable player that gets mentioned in the same breath as my name is Ademola Lookman.
I don't know who that is, you know.
He's the player that scored the goal that got Nigeria to AFCON. So Nigerians, you owe me, thank you. And when I'm coming to Lagos, I want pounded yam, special one. Special, anyway. I was part of the team. That also subsequently led to me being on the books at Charlton as a scout. But then my relationship with them meant that I was still allowed to or able to take players on trial to Chelsea, Fulham, Crystal Palace, other as well. So Jav at that time, he would always help me. Like
Who's Jav?
So Jav was the music manager of the Talent Hub at the time. And he knew Swift.
Okay.
So then when we started the music section of the Talent Hub, he was like, look, I spoke to Swift saying that he would do a tune of us. When I met Swift, I spoke to him and told him that, look, at the end of the day, the objective is the Talent Hub is for 25% of any profits to go to orphans in Ghana to help them get through school or to help them with some sustainable stuff. He was like, yeah, man.
That's nice, man. And that's nice.
Yeah, we did that.
That's big. That's big. So you're such a deep guy, business-orientated guy. How the hell did you start working with people in comedy? What's his name? Is it Mosey? What's his name?
Mons.
So I've seen you in a few skits with Mons, and Mons is doing his thing. You've seen Mons, right?
Yeah, I've seen some clips.
Monquer.
How did that happen then? You're so serious. Where's the smile? Oh, he's still there.
So again, what it is that from a boy, I'd always known that I can do, like, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. There's nothing, like, you can't stop me. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So I could always act. In primary school, you know, you always do this end of school year 6 play.
Yeah.
Ours was Grease Lightning.
You was who?
Grease. So initially, I was Kaniki, yeah.
I'm too old, man.
My boy Jermaine was Danny. And I'll be honest with you, this is year 6, innit? So I don't remember the full details exactly, which is strange for me because I have an exceptional memory and I do retain some of my memories as young as 3 years old. We'll get to that. But for whether he was genuinely sick or he had stage fright, on the day of performance, he didn't turn up.
Where we at with time, Jess? Okay,
wrap it up soon.
Okay, cool. So he didn't turn up. So they were going. They were thinking to cancel, but then the girls again. Yeah, it's always the girls in my class. they was like, nah, Miss Kojo do it. So they're like, what do you mean? They was like, he knows the whole script. Oh. So then the acting teachers come to me and she's like, they're saying, you know, and I was like, well, how do you expect me to perfect? It's easier for me to perfect my lines if I know all of them, innit? So they're like, do you think you could? I was like, what do you mean? Do I think? Come, let's go.
Wow.
They didn't
just had that confidence.
Yeah, because do you know what it is? Show's got to go on.
Just got to do it. Just got to do it.
Bruv, so what else what are you gonna do? Cancel?
You just got to go.
Well, you think I choose script for no reason?
Yeah, you just have
to. So then,
do it.
No, bruv, you just figure it out, bro. But this is what I'm saying. These were the first signs.
Is that a gift?
Yes.
Right.
Because
I can relate to you with that.
Because there are some people that just kick into it. This is what I mean. That people. How
many years have I been telling you I got a gift?
So
too long.
How many years?
Hang on.
Be honest.
Let me not lose my train of thought because it's the same thing when I got shot at protecting the young people at the youth club. They're like, bro, how, you knew they had a shotgun. Why would you go out and I'm like, so what do I do? Let the kid get shot? No, I'm gonna go out and face it, innit? But that's what I'm saying. That killer instinct, or that people that have that is a gift, but it's something that needs to either be nurtured, otherwise it can also get you in trouble.
That's not a gift. That's dangerous, bro.
No, it's not, because that's the same thing a firefighter does. When a firefighter runs into a burning building while you're running out, it's a gift. But just because that gift now gets harnessed and then he goes to firefighting school, so then he learns some added techniques, doesn't make it any less of a gift.
Would you not
because there
say
are guys
that's
that are not firefighters that have done the same thing.
Would you not say that's a fight or flight moment though? Would you not say that's where, like,
so this is
you are either this one or you're either that one?
No worries. That's what you've been led to believe. In the same way that you've been made to believe that you have 5 senses, but feeling is a 6th sense.
But hold on, because I believe that there's gifts, right, which are natural talents, and there's skills. Yeah? Which if you work on it, you can get. And I feel like when you've mentioned a firefighter, right, I do not believe that's a gift. I believe that's a skill. No. Because you learn that.
My man.
You don't learn to run in a burning building.
Listen.
You can have the passion for it, but you have to learn how to do that. You have to learn to get the water. You have to learn how to use the ladder. You have to learn these things. No? No?
Because it's only firefighters that have saved people from burning buildings.
I'm just running with the analogy you gave me.
But I also added a caveat that people that have not gone to firefighting school
can still save you from the burning building.
I said that.
Yeah.
They still
I'm
can.
not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that.
So this is what I'm telling you. Skills and an accumulation of skills makes up someone's talent.
You know what? He's right in a way. You know why?
Gift is different.
If we had 100 people outside and the fire was going off, there would only be a handful that's going to run in there. But where does that come from? That energy for only that 5 out of the 100 to go in. And there will always be that one that's like, no, and they've got it all under sus. They can control.
Do you want me to help you?
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Do you want me to help you guys?
Would you put that down to talent?
I just, for the reality, I put it as the flight or fight moment. It's just, it always goes in that bracket for me. I always put that in there.
Courage.
Where does that come from, though?
That's just instinctive. That's not. I won't say it's talent.
But is that what you're saying is the gift, K?
So Reese is saying courage right now.
Yeah, Reese is saying courage.
Your analogy of 100 people outside.
Yeah.
And then 1 at 5 say I'm on running next.
Yeah, so you will see the guy just do it, or the girl just do it. They just do it. They just react.
Yeah, that's how it's courage to me.
We've all got different.
But would you say that's the gift?
Yeah.
KK.
Who's better, Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi?
It is subjective.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Cristiano Ronaldo is the best talent. Hey, relax. Let me land. Let me land.
Go on.
You guys are excited.
We're here for it.
Lionel Messi
Yeah.
is the gifted one. All right then. Let me land.
Go.
Cristiano Ronaldo has worked at his
I agree.
Craft.
I agree with that.
Your talent, you can work at it.
Correct.
Your gift, you don't work at it, you harness it.
Correct.
Or you channel it. This is the difference. This is what I'm telling you. That one, you can work on it, which means one, you can manufacture. The other one, the cosmos or Onyankopong. And when you see it, you know it. Let's not pretend.
Yeah?
So
I
Reese
just
is
said
disagreeing
that.
right
Yeah,
now.
but I just said that.
No, you said you can't. You said 1 you can and 1 you can't. You said a gift you can harness and the talent you can't, right? Or the amount of talent.
You can, yeah, but you can still harness your talent. But just because I use the word work at it instead of harness it, it makes no difference. You can still harness your talent.
Same thing though, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is the gifting. You see what Lionel Messi does? It's natural. And you can see that it's natural. What Ronaldo does, you can see that he's worked on it, and you can see that he has to go to the gym to maintain that physique. Look at his physique. He has to maintain that. Look at Lionel Messi's physique. Nothing, because his gift is from God. And I didn't want to use God because, but what I'm saying is his gift comes from the cosmos. That means you're not adding nothing to it. You're not adding no height to get him to jump up and head the ball. My guy, he springs up like a salmon because it's, do you see what I'm saying? It's intrinsically a part of him.
But is he not still working at Cristiano Ronaldo?
Say that again?
Is he not still doing the same work as Cristiano Ronaldo?
No, because if Cristiano Ronaldo don't go gym, he cannot produce the same output what he does. Messi cannot go gym and still produce the same output. It's the same reason why Zidane used to smoke. Zidane used to smoke, same output. Try let Frank Lampard smoke and give you the same output. It's not the same because Lampard was talented. And Lampard, it was intellect. You don't know that Lampard has a master's degree. So when he's making them late runs into the box and he's hitting the ball in certain places, it's angles for him. His one is mathematics, it's intellect. Yes, you see? So then the talent he has to work on.
Right.
But Zidane, when Zidane sees the ball, he's not even looking, or Ronaldinho, he's not even looking, the ball comes here and he says, hey, bah. From Bikini, they do that thing to his adulthood. And you're like, but this guy, and then he gets fat because of middle age. And he's still, when the ball's coming, bah, where you going? From birth. Whereas others, to do that exact same thing, you have to, that's talent. You have to work at it.
Come on. Gifts and talents. Mr. KK is here.
Gifts and talents.
I don't believe we're disagreeing though.
Yeah.
We're not disagreeing because I'm with what you're saying. I'm just saying on this side, there's another caveat. And this is the thing. I'm an alchemist, so I have a scientific mind. I only go with observable evidence. So therefore, this is not something lofty I'm speaking about. We will be able to put two people together and we'll see that, okay, do you know what? Without this added thing, or without that, he wouldn't do this. Whereas he still will. Like I'm saying. Ronaldo, remove the gym. Let's see if it's the same output. Messi, remove the gym. Same output.
As a Ghanaian film always goes, part 1 and 2. So this is part 1.
We have to bring you back.
We definitely have to bring you back.
We have to bring you back.
I appreciate you, brothers.
The gems, the wisdom,
we like
the deep intellect.
KKK.
100%.
I can't even call it KKK. That's mad.
Mr. KK.
Mr. KK.
You gotta make sure when you come down, we gotta make sure Jess has a mic. We gotta give Reese a mic. Everybody gotta get a mic.
Right, so guys, just before we go, I just want to say this, guys. Do subscribe to their channels.
Thank you, man.
And their social media. These guys have got good wisdom and positive energy to give. I'm very proud of them both.
Thank you.
I just want to say this. If you take anything from the words that you've heard today, I want you to know that success is intentional and that winners win. Okay? My words have not come here to motivate anybody. Motivation is emotive. I ain't here to toy with your emotions. I speak to galvanize, which is a call to action. So if you have quantified that which I've said, if you have both inner standing and outer standing, then take action. Pursue your purpose. Do not chase your dreams. Pursue them.
And that's episode 16.
Episode 16 and KK. It has been a great episode.
Come on.
Thank you for coming on to DTM London.
Come on.
All right. Guys, again, if you can just go and subscribe, press the button wherever you decide to put it.
Down below.
All right.
Add up my stuff as well. KK.
What is your details?
I am KK that guy on Instagram, on TikTok.
We'll put that there for you as well.
On Twitter, though I don't use it.
And also in the description. For
KK17 or KK that
Did you have any music that you was doing as well?
Well, like I said, there's nothing I cannot
do. Part two.
Big Flex out now. Craze, KK17, 21 Jarcy, Big Flex. That's the latest one. There's Intergalactic, No Filter. But if you go to KKC Talent Hub, you'll see most of the talented related stuff that we've got out there. And KKC Solutions, if you need a solution for your issue, business, talent, whatever it is. D6 and I have cousins, a set of brothers, one who owns Mixtape Madness and the other one owns AGM Marketing. And
big up.
When I do the high-end security for AGM or are involved with AGM in terms of their marketing campaigns, we often get some giveaways. So this
show them.
This is from the Burner Boy campaign that AGM helped him get to #1. So
thank you.
And then Heady One and K Traps campaign. This was another good and positive campaign. If you see the AMPR video, you will see me in my role as post protection security in the very beginning.
Cheese.
Dope. I ain't see the CD cases. Yes.
Yeah, man. This is so nostalgic.
From the talent hub, little hat there for DC.
Real gifts.
Of course.
Real gifts.
We got the wall, every t-shirt there.
From the Strength to Strength campaign.
Thank you, man.
Sick, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So yeah,
We
guys.
appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us,
man.
Yeah, man. So that's the gifts.
That's the gifts. Look at
And
this.
KK, thank you so much. Again,
Thank
guys,
you so
please
much.
like and subscribe.
Please
and
do it.
We are out.